Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. Now, South Africa's fauna and flora is one of the most beautiful in the world, and September is the perfect month to celebrate our plant life, being both the start of spring and Heritage Month. So joining us in studio today is Mashudu Ndanduleni, a horticulturist from Sanbi, to tell us all about the amazing plant life that we can find right here in South Africa. Mashudu, so good to have you on the show.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I love talking plant life, and I'm so happy that we are talking about plants that we can celebrate in our Heritage Month. I know about the king protea, I know about the pincushion protea, they're pretty famous, but what other plants are amazing in South Africa?
I mean, we've got a lot of plants that are amazing in South Africa. I just brought some few of the plants here that I would like to share with the South Africans and the viewers. But then now there's a plant that actually in this month, you know, it's called erythrina, which it starts flowering in August and September. So it's a deciduous tree, and because the tree is just, you know, it's just a tree without the leaves because it's deciduous. And then now it's kind of a plant that reminds us, because then you see this beautiful flower, you know, starting to bloom and etc. in the springtime. And that's one of the champion trees that I will love, you know, that I love, and I would really recommend the South Africans to look after the plant. And then now, you know, I mean, here down in Western Cape, we have a lot of plants, and some of the plants that, you know, they are not really well known, but Sanbi and other, you know, commercial nurseries as well, they are actually trying to promote our national flora so that people should enjoy, and rather than, you know, going out and flying to get some plants to this country. So then now here I've got something like this is Paranormas. It's one of Proteaceae family.
Wow.
So something which is beautiful. So it's one of the genera, and but probably in the commercial nurseries we have Paranormas reflexus, but I couldn't bring it here because it was not in flowering in a pot. You know, they just finished flowering, and I just thought I should bring this, which is not that popular in the, but I believe that, you know, when times goes on, etc., it will be available, and, you know, to the South Africans as well. And we've got so much lovely plants, and it depends on where you want to plant your plants in the garden. For example, maybe you want something under the shade, under the trees and etc. You know, just next to me here, I've got the Clavia miniata. It's such a beautiful thing. And we've got, you know, it's some cultivars as well that we're sort of like breeded out of that. Though it's not really, I can sort of recommend as well, you know, some cultivars. We've got the yellow flowers as well, which, you know, South Africans, they can really enjoy them. And behind me, you just mentioned about, you know, king proteas, etc., which is it's a well-known plant. I mean, which all South Africans really will love to have.
And not only South Africans, but the world as well is very aware of the king protea.
Exactly. I mean, when they come around here in South Africa, they don't want to miss to see protea, you know, especially king proteas. Pincushion that you mentioned that I couldn't bring them with me here. So there are more of the, you know, plants that really, they're just amazing plants.
I love it.
Exactly. And also we've got plants like mamitis as well. We've got different mamitis that, you know, what South Africans, they can enjoy. We've got things like mesh roses as well. Very beautiful plant. You know what, they've got this sort of like a hanging flower. It's just a beautiful thing. And it's available in commercial. It's, you know, they are all grafted, and you can plant them anywhere, especially in a pot plant. And in summer and fall, maybe in Johannesburg and Limpopo, etc.
Well, Mashudu's not going to be going anywhere because we will continue our chat on fauna and flora a little bit later on. But if you want to give us a call, if you have a question or comment, you can call us on 021-4309-881. I also want to find out, with the current drought, are plants even growing? All that more coming up on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Well, we are still joined with our horticulturist Mashudu in studio. We are talking about fauna and flora, and of course we all have heard about indigenous plants versus exotic plants, and how non-indigenous plants use up all the water. Well, Mashudu's here this morning, and we're going to be talking about, are indigenous plants really as dangerous, or I mean non-exotic plants really as dangerous as we think they are? It's so good to have you on the show this morning. So just talk to us about that for a second. What is the difference between the two, and what is the, you know, what are the results of having like exotic plants in our ecosystem?
I think one of the things that we need to look at is the word exotic plants. So because the word exotic plants, it might refer to plants that are not original to South Africa.
Yeah.
So which means some of the plants that are exotic, they can be used in South Africa, which there's no any problem of doing that. But then now there are plants that are called non-indigenous plants, which we refer them as an invasive alien plants. So those plants are declared as invasive plants in South Africa.
Yeah.
And those plants, those are the plants that are not really wanted, into our ecosystem.
Yes.
So because they disturb our ecosystems. So then now people, they should understand exactly which plant they are working with, because then now it's good to consult, especially you can consult organization like Sunby, you can consult City of Cape Town as well, NEMBA as well. You can consult those kind of people and say, I've got this kind of a plant, but I'm not sure. You can go to your nearest as well, nursery as well, to find out what plant you have in your garden.
Mashudu, we've got a call on the line. Lily from Joburg. Good morning, Lily. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
What is your question or comment for Mashudu?
I would like to know how do I get the buchu bush? I would love to plant it either in the pot or in the garden, because it's a very rare indigenous plant to find.
What is the name of the plant?
Buchu, B-U-C-H-U, from the Khoisan long time ago.
Oh, thank you. Buchu, you can find them in a lot of nurseries around here. There is a Cape of Hope nursery that you can find buchu. Kirstenbosch nursery as well, you can also find buchu. We've got a lot of species that are available. Arnelia as well, they also sell the buchus. And they still have a lot of nurseries around here in Cape Town as well, where you can find buchu.
How do you get it to flourish, though?
It is easy if you can plant your plant in a full sun and in a medium that is well aerated, and then now you water your plants, not really too much, and you could sort of try to saturate a bit of your medium, but it's really important because buchu, they're coming from Western Cape, so which they really need, the well aerated soil. So your medium has to have a good drainage.
Yeah, all right.
And in a full sun.
Well, I hope that that's definitely helped you, Lily. We are going to be chatting more about how to transport plants, because I think in the beginning you talked about that. And can they grow as well in your garden as they do in the wild? Mashudu is still with us. You can give us a call, 021-430-9881.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. It's our Into the Wild segment. Horticulturist Mashudu is still in studio with us this morning, and we're talking about indigenous plants and how we can incorporate them into our gardens. But Mashudu, we are in the grip of a water crisis at the moment. A lot of people are holding back when it comes to watering their plants. I want to know from you, are there any plants that consume more water than others that we should maybe stay away from?
Yes, probably we can talk about kikuyu grass, which, a lot of people love it, but the grass really consumes a lot of water, and the people, they should try and avoid to use kikuyu and go to other plants. And then plants like annual plants, sort of like pansy, things like that, that need water daily, impatiens as well. So people should try and also avoid to use soft herbaceous perennials as well, and try to go for the hardy perennials, to be able to save water.
Okay, I've also heard that dry gardens have become a popular thing.
Yes.
What are the kinds of plants that you can incorporate into a dry garden?
Oh, yes.
Or arid garden?
Yes, I've got plants here, for example. You could sort of use things like an aloe, and here with me here, you could see here, so we've got something like Pogolaria cafra.
Yeah.
So, and you have things like an aloe. You can have a garden like this. You can even put it in your pot as well. It looks nice. You just need sand and maybe a little bit of your bark, and you can water this maybe twice in a month, and they will survive. Wow. And then plants like Hawathias as well, then you can also use that. Plants like Gasterias as well, you can also use that. And then now, plants like Fehis. They're just a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And the good thing with fehis as well, because they make seed, and they will just drop the seed, and they're coming, season, and
Yeah.
the seed will just germinated when the rains comes. So these are the plants that I think I would really recommend the South Africans to use them, rather than using the plants that will really consume a lot of water.
Yeah, I love that. And then, of course, we all know about alien plants. But what about hybrid plants? We want to stay away from the alien plants. What about hybrids?
Yeah, that's a good question. I've got here with me, so this is Mammitis arboreus.
Yeah.
So it's grafted here on the hybrid. So one of the things that we or the growers use the hybrid is just because they want the nice forms of the flowers,
Yeah.
and also they want the strong plant. So most of the plants, for example, Mammitis, which is indigenous plant, so they're very difficult to grow in the garden. So then the best way to do that is to graft them on the hybrids, which are stronger, on root rot diseases that they might kill the plant. So then now that's one of the questions. But the South Africans, they are not really, or we cannot recommend, or I cannot recommend the South Africans to use, their hybrids outside of their of their private gardens. Like, for example, taking the seeds of the hybrids and spray it in the wild.
Yeah.
So they should not do that.
Okay, I understand. Well, it is time for us to ask this question, of course, this morning. Now, on Tuesday morning, we launched a giveaway with travel manual for a copy of the new National Geographic travel guide called Ultimate Journeys for Two. And to enter, all viewers had to do was reply to the competition post on Facebook with a question for today's eco topic. The winning question that we chose was from Kele Helga, who said, with global warming, and this is for you, Mashudu, with global warming and all the pollution, is enough being done to conserve indigenous plants to protect them for future generations?
I would say probably yes. There's a lot of preserved areas. Like we have Sunny Park, which they've got a lot of park everywhere. We have Cape Nature as well, which they've got a preserved areas around Western Cape as well, and each and every province as well, they've got a bit of the land that is preserved for the flora and the fauna as well. Sunby as well, they used to have 9 gardens, and they just now launched 2 gardens more. Then now we have 11 national botanical gardens. Wow. And we also have universities gardens as well, that they conserve a lot of indigenous plants as well. Yeah. So I would say yes, probably yes. We are after that as South Africans.
Oh, thank you. Well, we have to do all that we can to conserve our plants. Of course, we've got many challenges, especially with the water crisis, but I think that we can do it if we do it responsibly. Thank you so much, Mashudu, for joining us today. You were amazing. Hope to chat to you soon. And of course, we want to say congratulations to Kele Helga for winning a copy of Ultimate Journeys for Two. That's unfortunately all the time we have left for our Into the Wild segment, but we will do it again next week, same time, same place. You can call us on that number. Write it down, 021 4309 881.